Sure.
Okay, I have noticed, and I've talked to a couple of you, whenever I've seen you out in the shop, that you don't always use hearing protection when you're doing lots of loud things. So I thought I'd do a presentation today and tell you some stuff about hearing protection. Do you want to run the mouse for me? So when I flip the page, just click it and it should go to the next one. So try and click it. Yeah, okay. All right, it works. All right, hearing protection. It's painless. It happens over time, but it's permanent, but it is preventable. All right, here's how we hear. You have the outside of your ear, and then there's a canal that goes to the middle ear, and then the inner ear. And the noise is transferred into your ear. So whenever there's damage at any point on that portion or that canal, then you're not going to be able to hear properly. Okay, you have on the outside of your ear canal, you have external hair cells, and those hair cells are what moves the noises into your ear, your middle ear and your inner ear. When you become damaged, your hearing becomes damaged or impaired, it's because those receptors aren't sending the hearing properly. Either that or there's something in the ear that doesn't receive it. It's kind of like a stereo. If you don't have a speaker and a receiver with the radio and stuff, you can't receive it or send the signal when you have damaged hair cells. So I'm down onto what is noise. There you go. All right, simply stated, noise is any unwanted sound, okay? Ways to characterize noise is the frequency, the intensity, the nature of the noise, and the duration. So when we look at hearing problems or hearing noises, we looked at the frequency, the intensity of the noise, the nature of the noise, and the duration of the noise. All right, noise induced hearing loss means that initially your exposure to the noise causes a loss of sensitivity to high frequency. That's the first thing you'll notice is you don't hear high-pitched sounds. Then continued exposure results in damage to mid-frequency region as well, and then one can experience progressive high-frequency hearing loss and not be aware of it until it becomes severe. Acoustic trauma, one-time exposure to a loud sound, like a shotgun blast or a boom like an explosion working in a mine or something like that. That's one way. And the other way is daisy exposures to moderate sounds. Okay, how do we know when something is too loud? The basic rule of thumb is you use the 3-foot rule. If you have to raise your voice to be heard by someone standing within 3 feet, which is about arm's length, then the level is most likely above the hazardous noise level. Or objectively measure loudness with the proper equipment. They do have equipment where you can measure decibel sounds. Okay, when is noise scientifically defined to be a hazard? Duration of exposure, intensity of sound, repeated exposure, those are all things that you consider. The average sound before it starts bothering your hearing is at 85 decibels. I'm speaking right now approximately at 60 decibels. 140 decibels is the loud sound that can damage your hearing instantly. So if 85 is acceptable and you expose yourself to 90 decibels, then over a period of time you're going to damage your hearing without hearing protection. Okay, so rustling leaves, 20 decibels. A conversation, as I said, is about 60 decibels. Automobile running is 70 decibels, and we're going to go up to pneumatic drill. That's 100 decibels. And a pneumatic drill is equal to the,
Should we continue?
yeah, what's that say? Just take cancel. There you go. Thank you. A pneumatic drill is what you guys use when you use those impact wrenches. That's 100 decibels. 85, anything above that, starts damaging your hearing over a long period of time. Now, when you guys are using that pneumatic drill, you can't really hear somebody talk, can you? While that's going, or that impact wrench, which means it's too loud. It's a propensity to damage your hearing because you can't talk with it. That's a good rule of thumb. Okay, then there's what's called impulse noise examples, like a shotgun blast, machine guns. Those are loud. A shotgun blast is 160 decibels. How many of you here have heard a shotgun blast? Okay, so would you say that it's loud? Okay. So technically, based on what we're talking about today, it's 160 anything over 85 has a possibility of damage your hearing. So that's twice as loud as you're supposed to be hearing, right? As to damage it. Okay, the loss of hearing sensitivity due to hazardous noise exposures from either steady state noise or impulse noise does occur even before we can measure the change. So how many of you already think that you might have some hearing loss from the jobs that you do or from hunting? How about you, Aaron? What about you, Tom? Okay, and then you kind of have that because you have to say hello or huh, or you don't hear as well as you used to, or because you know you've been exposed to dangerous hearing levels. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next step just to tell you. We have these here, and this isn't in the PowerPoint. These are our hearing protectors, okay? And there's muffs, and there's these, and there's three kinds of situations. The first one is where you just use these. The second one is where you use muffs, and the third one is where you use poles. The type of work that you guys do just needs these, and I don't know if you know how to put them in, but I'm going to show you. So as you do, these are easily formed with your fingers, and that's what you want to do. You want to roll it where it's small, so it'll go into your ear canal, and then it'll expand when it gets in there. And you want to pull your ear up and install it like this. You twist it like this. You pull your ear up, and you put that in, and then you let your ear down, and then you hold it till it expands for a couple of seconds, and then it's in there. Now, the way that you know you have it in there right is when the noise, I can't hardly hear myself talk now because it's getting larger and larger in my ear canal is getting blocked. All right, so besides the impact wrench, can you think of other things that you guys do where you might need to wear hearing protection for?
Well, hammering is
Okay,
knocking out brake drums.
yep.
That's about
What about
Changing
tire?
tires.
Yep, the tire shop. Okay,
impact wrench, the tire impact wrench a lot.
okay, and did you
louder
know?
than-
Yeah. Did you know that once you start losing your hearing, you can't ever get it back? Did you know that? Did you also know that if you stop being the damage, then you can put off your hearing damage? So if you're using these, you're running the impact wrench, then you're less likely to have hearing to make it worse. So if you're already experiencing hearing problems, then you don't want to make it worse to where, because as you age, you're going to also have some hearing problems. So you don't want to compound that with doing things that are going to make it worse. So I hope when I see you guys in the shop that you'll start protecting your hearing, because really you're the only one that can do that. All right? Thank you.